good morning, AFTA members, and welcome to our webinar today. My name's Joanne, and I'm Head of Marketing at AFTA, and I'm pleased to have you on what is a very popular topic. We had 102 of our members registered for this interesting vloggy topic. So I'm really excited to have with me Justin and Satu.
Hello.
Hello.
And these guys are going to tell us what exactly is this all about, and how can we use our fam trips that we're sending our staff on and convert that into some powerful video marketing to promote destinations, travel advice, and sell travel to Australian consumers. Just a bit of housekeeping. You are all on listen only mode, which means you have to put a question in your question toolbox, and we will do our best to address all those questions at the end of the webinar. The webinar is being recorded and it will be put on the AFTA website so that you or your colleagues can refer back to this webinar at a later time. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to both Justin, who is the founder of Vloggy, and also Satu, who I know Satu working from Amadeus 6 years ago we first connected. So it's nice to reconnect with you in this new role.
Thank you very much, Jo. Great to be here, and hello everyone. Just a bit about my background. I've been working in the industry for years and years and years. Lots of travel and destination sales and marketing experience globally, and here in Australia I also was with Amadeus for 6 years, and now I'm working with Vloggy and promoting video content. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Do you want to introduce yourself, Justin?
Thank you. Yes, so I'm the founder of Vloggy, but many of you may know me from previous life as a sort of tourism and travel writer. But many years before that, I was actually a digital startup pioneer, been a filmmaker as well, so very much immersed in travel, tourism, and video.
So what we would like to tell you today is about how to use FamTrips to power your video marketing. So how to really get good return for investment from FamTrips. And 3 things we want to focus on: how to maximize return on investment from FAMs, and then how you can actually turn your stuff into best marketing assets. And also we focus on really how powerful video is now in customer engagement. So FamTrips are really essential. They're great for training and expanding your knowledge. So we all know that how wonderful they are to experience. They also provide, when they provide access to FAMs, it's great reward for travel consultants. And that's why we all work in travel. We love travel, and travel is really desirable experience. They're also a great way to get fresh, authentic, and affordable marketing content for your agency. And as we know that the power of getting new knowledge is very exciting, and we have here a few testimonials, one from Penny Spencer from Spencer Travel. We have staff covering consultants who are away, but I see it as a bonus as our agents are learning and come back with better product knowledge. Also, Russ Masterton from Destination International Holidays told us, Famil for our staff are an investment in the business, because ultimately we see the value in our repeat business and having knowledgeable and happy staff. This is all good. However, there is also a bit of a challenge with the FAMs. The FamTrips are essential, but they can be also costly as the resource is away from the office. And it can really have an impact on the business and also the rest of the team. The other big issue is reporting. So I don't know anyone who would love to do FamTrips reports. It's very hard work many times, quite challenging, and especially the issue is that they're not really necessarily utilized to bring productivity in the team. And when we really consider also that how to use that knowledge that the consultants bring in marketing, it is not really utilized. So it is a challenge. But they are really important source for the staff who bring in a new knowledge and share the experience with the other team. So it means that you improve also your team's knowledge. For marketing team to getting fresh ideas and convert this to investment and in time in the booking, it's really, really important and not necessarily very well used. For marketing team, the reporting is, could be and can be a bit more special. And if it's really well done, the impact can last 1 to 2 years. So we have collected you a few tips how you can actually improve your reporting and get really good return for investment. There are a lot of ways that we saw that reporting is done based on our research in different agencies. Some agencies are really good at it, and some provide quite general brief to their consultants, and that can be quite challenging. So it's really important that you will have a very clear brief for the FAMPRIP reporting process for consultants. It's great if you have a template that is easy to use, and what would be absolutely ideal that the consultants could use these templates on the go and ideally real time on mobile phone. And then they can report the experience and content real time to the marketing team. Also, it's important to make staff to think that they actually make observations tailored to their own client base. So if they go to a hotel, what type of customer I have would like this hotel, and what in this hotel would be very important for certain customers. And make sure that your staff will really think about the customer experience when they do their fans. Also, very important, and what we really want to focus on today is that you would really advise your staff to remember to take visuals as they travel. Take photos and especially videos, which is so powerful visual and content provider today. And what seems to be a very big issue is actual deadlines with reporting. We know that reports are there for, first of all, for tax purposes, and many times they are hidden in the intranet, but it's really important if the staff can provide the report as quick as possible, as real as possible, to make sure that you get really good return for investment as soon as the staff are back at the office. And also, from the start, make it clear for your consultants that you would like to use the content in marketing activities. And it's actually then more engaging for the agents. They actually focus on more how they provide the content to you, and they understand the importance of it. So creating FAMPRIPs, you can really create, the travel consultants can be really the best marketing assets. And when you think about the FAMPRIP, the hosts of FAMPRIPs really are showing their best offerings. You know, you see the most nicest thing in the destination or any land component, and your host will make sure that you see the best, you have the best experience. So this is fantastic, powerful content that you can provide to be used in your marketing. And also, all of us, when we experience something really positive, we want to share it with our communities, we want to share it in our social media. So there is already kind of a culture of sharing when people are motivated to share something nice that they have experienced. And of course, very importantly, you can use their niche product reviews in your communicating with your clients. And this is something that you can make yourself differentiate. You can really easily differentiate yourself from your competition. So if it comes to destination reviews or hotel reviews or land components, it's very much that your consultants, all consultants are very influential, micro influencers. So it's very powerful that you, as an expert, share this, share your own experience transparently with your customer, and it's very reliable and it's very trustworthy, a good way of attracting the customers. So what our solution that we are offering is that what you can do is get the travel consultants report while they're actually on location real time. So every consultant carries a high definition camera on their mobile phone. And many of the agents are already using actually the cameras and using their experiences, the photos and videos, posting on their own social media. And we call this user-generated content. So user-generated content that is in-house generated, and if they're actually reviews as captions, is a fantastic organic content to use in your marketing. So what we are recommending is really integrating reporting and marketing, and you can reuse the content ongoing in your marketing. So if you use your FamTrip itineraries as a marketing tool, you can use the same for post-trip staff briefings, and also use consultants' own social media content and put all of them in your marketing funnel and mix it up and reuse it. You definitely can use this as a very powerfully to increase your bookings. So really to recap, compelling video, and Justin will talk more about how important video and powerful it is today. It is very powerful to increase in lead generation. So what you can do is really engage your consultants to report on their travels on the go, really real time, and use that content in your marketing activities, and use already the tools that they already have in the media activity. So it's very much you harness the power of existing social media, and you can reuse itineraries and reports in the marketing. And very importantly, all the consultants are experts. They are trusted advisors, they are micro-influencers, and they are best people and trustworthy people for customers to actually tell their own experiences, share it, and then make it into bookings. So I will now hand into Justin, who is actually talking about how powerful and important video is today when it comes to content marketing.
Thank you, Satu. And for those listening, you'll be very lucky to have Satu answering questions after this. A wealth of experience in travel agency marketing. But hold your questions for now, because one of the last points that Satu touched on around how agents are actually trusted, I'll get into a second. But really, you're here to hear about video, and I'm sure many of you already know how big YouTube is, but YouTube is actually the second largest search engine in the world after Google, which of course owns YouTube. And what this means is that actually many people, about a third of people, are actually searching first for content in YouTube. And at the moment, travel content in YouTube is still very much dominated by destination marketing videos. They're quite generic, they're quite overviews, and they don't respond. So 85% of search terms for travel content on YouTube do not actually get satisfied. This is because the kind of things that people search for, just like in Google, are actually things like gluten-free breakfast options at such and such hotel, or disabled access in this resort, or really quite specific niche questions. And the videos that get served up are just generic promo videos. So there's a real hole in the market for agencies particularly, or people who are traveling on fam trips, to actually create the content that gets served up in YouTube with the call to action at the end back to your agency. Because what viewers actually want is authentic advice, not adverts. There's a real turn-off against adverts and marketing videos. And where the reason why agents are expertly placed for this is because they're experts. So if you look at what we call the social proof paradigm, there's actually 6 stages of social proof that people actually want when they're booking travel. And this goes all the way down from certification. So I'm sorry, but your shingle on the wall that people have in their agency is just one part of the social proof. Yeah, people want to know that yes, there is an ATAS, there is some sort of level of certification. But actually, the most powerful social proof is referrals from existing customers. This has been the power of TripAdvisor back when it was real reviews, less so these days. But people actually want to know what existing customers are doing. But second most powerful actual element of social proof is experts. And travel agents are seen as experts in travel advice. And this is actually more powerful than referrals from friends, because there is a level of expertise in addition to having experienced it firsthand. And really, like I said earlier, the kind of reviews that are missing are some of the quite niche reviews. So not overviews, but kind of what does room type 6, what does a double twin room in such and such hotel look like, and what does it really feel like? So there is a real hole for this social proof. To give you an example of the power of video, we did a survey, I think Satu mentioned earlier, into both how agencies are using videos, and most agencies are not using most videos, but also some powerful results from people who have actually used video. This was provided by an agency in Melbourne about one of their customers who said that she stalked her friend's Facebook feed when she was on a family holiday in Fiji. She posted videos of the staff singing her happy birthday, photos of the view from the spa, and of her son playing with the May. I ended up booking the exact same deal because I could see that it had everything I was looking for my 40th birthday trip. We know that if an image is worth 1,000 words, then video is worth 1,000,000. It has a conversion rate of about 25% greater than images alone. So this is why people are rushing into video. In fact, 65% of marketers have looked at video this year. So it's a real big. The reason really is because platforms like Facebook are actually going purely video. So Facebook came out the other day and said that they expect that by 2021 to their Facebook to be purely video. Now this sounds scary, right? Because you've just got your marketing platforms in place to do posts and to do images, and then Facebook are saying that what they really want is videos. This is because more than 50% of Facebook users prefer video content to other forms of content. This is of course skewed more towards the younger demographic, but still, video is the way that Facebook is going almost purely in the future. So how does this work for travel agencies who have already cultivated their audience? Well, here are some examples of some pieces that we're working on currently for agencies. So there's a Melbourne-based travel agency that has a big audience of gluten-free travelers. So it has created a video series called Gluten-Free Travel Guides, which are 50 seconds each, I think 50 to 120 seconds each, and they try and post them once a week. Girls Weekend Away, this is one that a Sydney-based tour operator is doing. Again, focusing on getting authentic content, actually in their case, by the participants or by the guests themselves to actually jointly create these videos. Business trip, quality time, no matter what your niche is. So your niche could be demographic, it could be geographic, or it could even be special interest. Whatever your niche as a travel agency is, you've already spent time building that community around it, and now it's time to actually make video content that reflects that community's or your audience's existing niches. And really, the reason why user-generated content works so much better is because most people actually want to see people who look like them. So people are turning away from slickly produced videos. They still have their place. But what they really want is someone's first-hand experience. They want to see people who look like them. So this is where getting back to that community thing. So what you don't want to do is broadcast. It's really talking about narrowcasting. This is creating really quite niche video content that really resonates with your audience. And YouTube videos are now trusted more than TripAdvisor reviews. So if you can get the videos onto YouTube as well as your Facebook channel, then even better. User-generated content is trusted 7 times more than paid content, incidentally. So here's an example of how some people are using these video reviews. Sorry, there's the formatting on the top. But imagine the power of actually having micro video reviews sitting within the booking process. Now, this is a large agency chain that's doing this. Rather than individual agents, and you need a bit of sort of power behind you. But imagine the power of that is that when your agents go on fam trips and they do reports like this with captions overlaid, that can sit within the booking process. So this is a 30-second hotel review of a hotel in Singapore. So that's one example. Another example is very small. These are 20-second land activity reviews. So again, you can see this is user-generated video and captions put together into a template to really to keep the look and feel the same. So this is one that a small tourism board in Southwest Sydney is doing, and they're doing a whole series of video reviews, which could just as well be done by agents on fam trips. So one question that we get asked a lot is how long each video should be. And really, the answer is not that simple, because there actually should be a different length and different amount of posting volume that you do on social media platform. I picked out the 3 that we think are most useful for travel, although of course there are others. But going from right to left, actually, YouTube, this is where you really want to have a real depth of content, because this is responding to search terms. So you have to, just as you do a blog post about anything that you hope that your audience is going to search, similarly, you want a depth of volume for YouTube. YouTube is the long burn, so you want a mass volume of content. People watch YouTube videos a bit longer, for about 2 minutes. So this is perfect for doing slightly longer trip reports, destination briefings, and longer hotel overviews. And then in the middle, Facebook, which I'm sure every agency has in its marketing mix. This is more about being consistent and on brand, but also creating content that is engaging. This is where this idea that we talked about earlier about creating a video series from your agency's niche is where you want to get into. So you don't want to post too often. So once a day or less. I mean, probably twice a week for a small agency, 3 times for a larger one. And creating a video series where each post you do is kind of an episode of an ongoing series. Optimal length there is about 90 seconds, between 60 and 90 seconds. So not super long, but not super short. And then on the far left, you have Instagram, which, as you know, you have to have a very consistent brand aesthetic. So every video must look the same, even if it has different content. Really, you want to be posting quite frequently because Instagram is quite fickle in its audience. You need to post about 6 times a week, maybe 5 times, but you need to post quite a bit. Optimal length there is about 20 to 30 seconds. But crucially, you actually need to include captions on videos because 85% of Instagram viewers actually watch with their sound turned off. So having beautifully turned out videos with captions is kind of what you want on Instagram. So I'll give you a little bit of spiel about us. So Vloggy is actually a collaborative video platform that makes it easy for agencies or anybody else to create authentic video stories from their consultants' contributions. Very quickly, we are 2 things. So we're an app that consultants would use while they're actually on their trip, and they post almost like video blog micro posts, each one 10 seconds. And then that goes into an engine where whoever is in charge of marketing at the agency can pull those together to create video stories easily, and then post them whilst the agent is actually already on. They don't have to wait for them to come back. They can do it while they're actually on their trip. So it's super quick, super easy, and also super affordable to produce video content. We actually have some tools which are specifically for the travel agency industry. So in talking to clients, we also found that a pain point was actually writing their reports. So actually we introduced a new thing, which you can see here, a PDF download tool, that it actually allows you to download a report with all the dates and times, locations, a small description and images already created for you by our system. So it actually allows you to replace the chore of fam trip reporting with a PDF tool and also get video out of it as well. And then the designer tool that we have allows you to create a template so that every single video you make looks and feels the same. And we can explain a bit more. We have I think after we're going to send around a link to the white paper that we have produced going into a bit more detail. We'll open the lines in a minute to some questions and answers. But you can all download the white paper to get more detail on this. And anyone who downloads that will also give you a free creative consultation to help you create your first video template. And with that, hand over to questions.
Great. Well, it certainly sounds like you're making creating videos much easier.
We hope so.
And also much more affordable. The one issue that's why Vloggy was born, that because video is so expensive and so hard and complicated to make. And so we have made it that really affordable and simple and easy to use.
Yeah, I had a look earlier. It looks great. And I was thinking, oh, I've recently been to Europe for 2 weeks and on a cycling holiday. And I was thinking I could make some nice 10-second videos of my my trip.
10 seconds, and then you piece them all together to make longer ones.
Yeah, that would be great.
That's the sort of, so each 10-second clip is actually a sort of Lego block, and you can move them in many different forms. So you might want to create a 20-second video, or you might want to do a 2-minute. So that, yeah, it might be the 6 best things to do, 6 best cycle tracks in Europe, or it might be this.
Yeah, cool.
So you can remix them however you want, really.
Oh, very snazzy. And I like that it makes reports easy for consultants as well.
Yeah,
nifty.
Added bonus.
Yeah. Now, does anybody have any questions for Justin or Satu? Sounding like it was very clear, guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether no questions is good or bad. Were we so clear?
Oh, here we go. Is there a URL for the Vloggy site?
Yes, so...
Oh, hang on.
Yes, so probably the best one actually is vloggy.com/travelagents. That's a good landing page for you to go to first, or just vloggy.com if you want a general overview.
And what about downloading the app?
Yep, so there's actually a few ways that you can get content into the system. You can download the app on the App Store, and then there's another route if you're using an Android phone, which is actually directly onto the platform itself. So the first step really is to create a team, and a team typically is an agency and invites members of the agency to join. And they can upload their clips actually directly onto the website or directly through their phone. They don't actually need the app. The app produces better quality video, but it's not essential. And then the marketing manager basically for his agency would create a project for each fam trip. So you might have the agency being the team, and then I don't know, Tina's trip to New York might be the first project, and then Tina or whoever, when they go on that project, all the clips they do automatically get into that project dashboard, and they can be used to make content from that trip.
And of course, the dashboard stores all the videos, but then can they easily be uploaded to the agent's website? Yeah.
So then the process is that whoever is looking after making the finished video just drags and drops. There's no editing required. It's just a video assembly tool rather than a video edit tool. Right. Our tool does all the hard work behind the scenes and makes a beautiful video. So they just literally drag and drop them into a finished video, and then download the finished video to post onto social media channel.
Perfect. And by that also includes YouTube.
Yes. So you can download them in high definition or web definition, depending on where you're uploading them.
Great.
Or even, to be honest, they even come as animated GIFs if you want to do Twitter.
Someone's just advised us they're a little bit techo useless. Do you recommend a selfie stick for taking videos? And how do you get rid of the wind sound in videos?
Wind sound's trickier. You can put a sock on, but wind sound is difficult. You're right. Selfie stick, yep. So, I mean, in actual fact, going to your question earlier, if you actually use our app to film, then we've actually built stabilization into the app, which means that even people who don't use a selfie stick will get a very sharp, very clear video. But we did hear from lots of people that they didn't necessarily want to film through the app, so you can upload directly. The video won't be as good, won't be as stable. So things like selfie stick tripods do help.
Perfect. And the one thing also with I call our app is it's film video production for dummies, and I'm one of them. So it has very smart tech in the app, so the quality is actually stable. So you don't need to worry about really anything about the editing. And the other thing was that we require, and the Vloggy requires that you write captions to what you have experienced. If you can also save it as a draft, and you can do captions later. So if you start panicking, oh, I don't know what to write, and before I publish it or before I put it in the project page, you can actually edit it later as well. Yeah.
Right. We had a question about someone having trouble to find it in the App Store. So I assume if they go to your website, there'll be a link to downloading it as well?
Yep, so there is a download the app button on the website, I think top right-hand corner from what I remember. But it should be, if you search in the App Store, it's Vloggy, and then it's the red one.
Okay, perfect. And we had a question. Someone here was just saying that they've returned from a Famil trip where they recorded some videos, and this particular consultant introduced herself first, but she personally feels that she looked a bit silly doing it. Should she be concerned about that? Is that what people want to see?
It's funny, actually, because the first versions of these templates we did always included a pista camera. And that's very much the, let's say, American style of doing vlogs. And then the more customers we spoke to, lots of people said they didn't feel comfortable doing a piece to camera. So we actually took it out of the kind of template options. But really it's a personal choice. So if people like to feel connected to the person doing the traveling. That's why we've included captions in all of our videos, so that you can actually give a flavor of what you feel through the captions, but it's a little bit less intrusive than doing a piece to camera.
Yeah, perfect. And I guess for you, Elise, you could always edit out that introduction if you want to show the rest of what you filmed, but don't feel comfortable with your introduction.
Yeah, except, like Satu said, we call this video production for dummies, and there's no editing required. So really, our interface is just a pure drag and drop. So you just drag the 10-second blocks that you want together and output it. So you can produce a video in under a minute.
So she could trim that out of it?
She could choose not to use that. Yeah. So how she would work was she would actually upload chunks of 10 seconds at a time, and you can do up to 6 at a time through the website, and then just drag and drop the ones she wants in the order she wants.
Perfect. I have a question here about privacy of, I guess, using consultants in videos, and I think that comes back to your own internal staff policies, and of course you'd need to ask for approval from staff to get involved, and probably put some guidelines around how you're going to use the video content. But again, if they're going on a Famil trip, they're going for work purpose, so you could provide some really clear guidelines about what's expected of them on the trip, and what videos that they need to take, and how they need to contribute that fam trip back to the business. I've got a question around, is the app free? And then of course the big question that everyone wants to know, what's your pricing structure?
Yes, the app is free, and in fact, for very light users, the platform is free too. So you can have a team up to 10 members and use that video content for free, and produce up to 3 minutes of video per month. And then we have a sliding scale after that, $79 US for medium-sized agencies, and $129 for large agencies up to 500 contributors.
For yearly subscription, for
monthly subscription.
So monthly subscription, yes.
Yeah. So I think we'll just come back to looking at how often your staff go on Famil trips, how many videos you think you'll do, and you can always build on it. I assume you can try the light version and then add to that if you find it really effective.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perfect. Are there any other questions? This webinar, of course, has been recorded. It will be on the website. We'll have a link to the white paper, and we'll have both Justin and Satu's contact details. So if you've got any questions, you can contact them directly. I have a question here from Deborah, who's going on a big trip next month. Lucky you, Deborah. And she's wanting to know, will it be useful not to speak to the video? And if she does, how do you request to allocate a caption to each view? Oh, this comes back to functionality, which I think we did touch on.
Yeah, so look, the core functionality of the app currently is to produce captioned 10-second, sort of in some ways, video tweets. And then those captioned 10-second posts are then assembled into a longer video with captions. So you as the agent are kind of doing the work while you're away for both your fam trip reporting document, but also it produce marketing content that your agency owner or marketing manager can use. So how it steps you through, you record up to 5 or 6 shots within a 10-second clip. So typically you might start off with a wide shot, then a bit of movement, then a bit of detail. And then you really add the captions pretty much as you would describe it to your clients. As Satu said earlier, this is kind of one of the crucial things in reporting. Imagine you were actually describing this to your clients. So we have a travel agency chain who looks very much into corporate travel. And so their tone of voice when they're writing their captions, and they do a lot of reviews in hotels, particular room types, and they write the captions very much, they put in detail around how large the bed is, all this kind of stuff, the stuff that they know their clients want. So it's understanding the tone of voice that you would use for your clients.
And to Satu's point, you can always film it and then think about the caption later.
Yeah, you can add the caption later. You can just save it as a draft and then think about the caption later and then add it in.
Yeah. So what I recommend following this webinar would be go onto the vloggy.com/travelagents website and actually have a look for yourself. There are some more details on how it works. There's a detail on a video as well to explain things. And I think you'll get a better idea of how it works and how you might be able to apply it to your office. And of course, you can always try out the light version. And if that's working really well, for example, use Deborah going on your next trip next month, sign in, download, give it a go, and see if it's something that was really effective for your agency.
And please download the white paper and read it. It has useful tips of generally about marketing and using video content. It's very useful to go through it. And please contact us. We're just happy to share if you want to know more and give you a demo, or if you just generally want to ask about video content marketing, we're happy to provide you any assistance that we can.
That's brilliant, guys. Thank you so much. Well, thanks for your time this morning. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Again, please visit the AFTA website to review this webinar and download the white paper. And you will get an email with a survey. So please take the time to fill that out, because we use that to improve our webinars, make sure the content is relevant for you. So thank you again for your time, and see you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you.